tailored jackets they're not easy, and yeah, there's a reason. Lots of pieces, lots of bits, lots of different components, and yeah, wish me luck. Okay, I'll be honest. I still am. I was in two minds about whether to carry on filming this project or not, because it's turned into a bit of a nightmare. I've spent the entire morning trying to lay out the pattern on the fabric, and I have really struggled with it. I have never in my life fought so hard to get the pattern pieces onto the fabric that I've got. Yeah, I ordered 3 meters of the wool. I honestly thought that was plenty to do just a fitted jacket for my husband. He's not a particularly big chap, so yeah, I honestly thought 3 meters was going to be fine. I've obviously pre-washed the wool to pre-shrink it. I haven't measured it to check how much it shrunk by, I'll be honest. But yeah, I have had to do so much shifting about and shuffling stuff around to get the pattern pieces to fit. And yeah, as it is, I'm going to have to tweak some of the lining pieces, do some piecing. I'm going to have to piece parts of the other side of the collar, and I think I have just managed to get it to fit. But yeah, there was a point where I was actually in tears this morning, because I was like, there's no way this is going to happen. And yeah, I was frustrated. Yes, even as a professional, I still cry when I get frustrated over my work. It's not ideal when you are when you're that tight on the fabric allowance. I don't like to be that tight on the fabric allowance. I don't like to waste fabric by over ordering too much, but you like to have a little bit of wiggle room. But I think, yeah, you don't want loads left over at the end. And it was that whole, an extra meter would have been, easy and comfortable to use, but there probably would have been a fair bit left over. And yeah, if I've managed to get this right, then I shall be inordinately proud of myself for getting the pieces on the fabric that I have. But I have no margin for error. If something goes wrong, I've made this pattern before. Mr Darcy has tried on his current jacket, which is made from this same pattern, and it still fits fine. I've allowed a little bit of additional, squidge, squidge room, and with it being double-breasted as well, there's a little bit of play in the front overlap as well, where we can obviously, the buttons can be moved a little bit, so it just gives a little bit more wiggle room. But yeah, this could be famous last words. Yeah, fingers crossed. It'll be okay. It has to be okay, because if it's not, Mr Darcy says he doesn't care, and that, if it doesn't get done, it doesn't get done. But I'm like, no, you're having a new jacket for next weekend. So yeah, so I've spent the entire morning, when I wanted to have this cut. Well, yeah, I've not even cut it out yet. It's still just laid on because I'm doing that thing which I don't get very often these days. But yeah, that thing where the fear of cutting, because there's no going back once I've cut it out. Yeah, so yeah, I've spent all morning laying the pattern out. I've still got to figure out the layout for the lining. This is just the wool fabric at the moment. And ideally I had wanted to have this all cut out, and if not started the sewing, be ready to start sewing this afternoon. But as it is, I'm now going to spend probably the most of the afternoon cutting out all the panel pieces, and I've got to cut out the lining, the interfacings for the collar, and things like that. And yeah, I'll be This rate I'll be lucky if I start sewing by the end of the afternoon. But hey ho, that is what it is. So for the lining of the coat, I'm using this piece of fabric here. It's a remnant left over from another project. As you can see, it has I guess it's a celestial, astrological kind of pattern woven into the design. It's a proper jacquard lining fabric for modern suit jackets. Is it authentic for Regency? No, obviously. But this is going to be in the sleeves and the upper bodice portions of the jacket, so you're really not going to see it. And as I say, it's a proper good weight suit jacket lining fabric, so it's perfect. You know, it's the right weight for this project. And as I say, it's a remnant. This is literally all I have left, and there's some long narrow bits up here, which I can get the other pieces that I need for the lining out as well. So yeah, so just in the interest of using up fabric that I've got in my stash, this is just, you know, perfect for that. I finally made it to the sewing machine about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Progress is certainly slow going on this project. So at the moment I'm just doing the prep work before I actually start putting the pieces together. So it's the kind of putting the interfacings in, interfacing the pockets. I've done the collar. She says. It doesn't look like much. It's just, yeah, big standing upright collar that folds back down on itself. But I put that together. It took a bit longer than I wanted because I don't know if you'll be able to see. I've had to piece the underside of the collar, so you're not going to see it when it's folded down. I'm sorry, I'm just holding this up because I've not got space, time, willing to put it on the mannequin at the moment. But that is all together and is ready to go on when I get to that point, but we're a little way off there yet. You can see these are the facing pieces here. You can see that the interfacing is just stitched on. That stitching will go inside the seams when I get that far. And yeah, just started making some progress finally. Did I get as far as I wanted to today? No, obviously you can probably tell by the tone in my voice. But it's just one of those things. Sometimes these projects just take a bit longer and you have to do a bit more thinking on the fly, which is always hard work and tiring. So I'm ready for my dinner this evening and put my feet up for a little bit and rest my brain, and then hopefully tomorrow we can make a lot more what feels like actual progress, construction progress, so I think that's the thing with these kind of tailoring jackets. There's so much that goes into the preparation of them and the internal kind of workings of them that you don't see. It can feel like progress is slow and it takes a long time before you get to an actual physical garment. But yes, onwards. I shall see you. How rude. I shall see you tomorrow. So I have a new toy. I have treated myself to a proper audio recorder. This is mainly so that I don't get a repeat of what happened at, in particular, the Titanic exhibition, where the ambient microphone on the gimbal basically just picked up all of the background noise and you couldn't hear me talking very well. And obviously, because I was in a museum kind of environment, I didn't want to talk really loudly and certainly not shout at the camera. So yes, so we've decided to test out a separate audio recorder and a microphone, and that will hopefully make my audio and my diction, speech, talkiness better to understand when I am out and about at events and things like that, and if I'm not obviously stood directly, really close to the camera. Hopefully it'll just mean that my audio is a little bit better for you. So yeah, now I just need to figure out how this works. Yay, because this is technology. I don't do technology. This is Mr BLC's department. He told me what to do and I have no idea, so I turn it on. It says welcome. Dog is talking to me. And then I think I just press record. Flashes red. How do I know it's... Oh no, please wait. Oh, there we go. Red recording. Oh, so hopefully, if the audio suddenly changes, then that is because I'm talking to you through my little baby Tribble. Put that down. Oh, right. So, yes. Where are we up to? I think you'll have seen some footage from this morning of me putting the breast pocket on the inside of the waistcoat lining, not the waistcoat lining, the jacket lining, and the lining is all now together, other than the sleeves. I haven't put the sleeves in yet. And then you'll also have just seen me doing footage putting the pockets in the outer of the jacket, the hip pockets on the across the side seams. I have just put those in. So now I can finish putting the rest of the jacket together. I just need to put the back panels together and attach them to those the side and the front panels, which obviously are together, so I can put the pockets in. The pocket crosses over the side seam, so yes. It makes sense to me. I'm really sorry if this doesn't make sense to you, but I hope you're enjoying following along anyway. Yes, so we are getting there. I think I said in a previous clip, jackets like this are slow work, and you have to be careful and precise with them, especially when it's a plain fabric that's not very forgiving if you make mistakes. Stitching shows, unpicking shows, all that kind of thing. So yes, so just slow and steady, and we are getting there. Hopefully I'll be able to do a fitting with Mr BLC this afternoon and check on progress before I do the finishing off. But yes, we are getting there, slowly. In other news, I've had a delivery. I've had some buttons arrive, and these are some special buttons that I've had especially made for my Regency outfits. I shall open the packet and show you. So these, if it focuses, probably not, is it still focusing? Oh, there we go, I think I've got it right. So yes, so those are some lovely handmade death's head buttons, and they're also, I think they're also known as leek buttons, I think because that's after the town in Staffordshire where this type of button was kind of prevalent. But yeah, these little thread wrapped buttons that have been made for me by a lady called Sarah Harris, and she is known as the Bygone Seamstress. And yes, I asked her if she could make me some buttons to finish off my outfits. So these blue and gold ones are going to be for one of Mr BLC's waistcoats. And I made little fabric covered buttons. The fabric was wrapped over pieces of cardboard out of the silk that the waistcoat is made from. as you can probably guess, one of them has gone missing. I don't have any more of the silk to make new buttons, so I thought what a better way than to have some made. So Sarah has made these beautiful little buttons in the right shade of silk and a little bit of gold on there, which is just going to look really pretty and a really nice finish, and just tidy up that waistcoat for him and look a bit more smarter and snazzier. Right, well, I need to carry on and get this jacket together, or it's never going to get done because I've only got this weekend to finish it off, so onwards. So I have some more progress for you. It looks like a jacket, which is always a good sign. However, we still have the lining isn't in yet. The lining is over there, just draped on the other mannequin at the moment. The next stage is to join the lining and the outer shell together. So yeah, we have sleeves are in, the cuffs are faced in there as well, so the lining can be attached once it goes in there. We have the pockets down here, which is just a nice little touch. The pleats need pleating. Yeah, once the lining is in and the lining of the tail section, I need to attach those and match up the pleat with the inside of the tail section, and that just needs to be pressed neatly and stitched down, and then there'll be buttons made to go on there as well. Collar is not attached, it's just sitting there at the moment, but that's the next job to do. And then just looking at the front, see, this is just the outer shell, so it's a bit floppy, but I think you can see how it's starting to come together and look like a jacket. The lining and the outer shell are attached. That took way longer to sew around and pin than I wanted it to, but we're carrying on. Next task is to clip and notch all of the seams around the edges so that I can turn it through and it will lay nice and neat and flat. So yeah, this is going to take a while. Wish me luck. So now, exciting job of turning it through, and to do that I'm going to turn it through this point here. So this is the waistline, the lining, and then this is the lining for the tails. So I've left an opening in the back there, quite a sizable opening, just to make sure I can get it through nice and easily. So I'm just going to put it through that way. We have the breast pocket in there, and then once it's pulled through and turned through nicely, we can get on with pressing it. So I'm just tacking the layers together where I'm going to fold the pleat in, just to make sure the two layers don't shift apart and end up like sitting in the wrong place when I press them. So just by running a tacking stitch through here, that just holds it all nicely in place. so heavy now. There's a lot of wool, obviously 3 meters of wool fabric in here anyway, so yeah, it's starting to weigh a little bit. So I don't want it slipping off the, because I'm working on the ironing board, I don't want it slipping off. And here is Mr BLC's rather dashing new blue coat. It's just on the mannequin. Unfortunately, if you want to see the final look and Mr BLC all dressed up, you will have to make sure you are subscribed and you watch my next video to go out on the channel, which should hopefully be our trip to the Jane Austen Festival in Bath. And yeah, I'm so excited to share that video, so yeah, do make sure you're subscribed so you'll know as soon as that video goes out, and you can watch that and join in with all our adventures in Bath. So the last little job that I just need to do this afternoon, I think I explained an earlier piece of footage. It's quite an old waistcoat. It's part of the first Regency ensemble that I made for him, but it still fits him, and it's made from this beautiful silk fabric on the front, which is from a silk mill in Suffolk, where they still make the silk here in England, weave the silk here in England, and yeah, I just fell in love with this fabric, and it's too beautiful to go to waste, and so it still fits him. It just needs updating. I need to replace the buttons. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but originally I tried to make as authentic buttons as I could by making little covered buttons, and these were just made by covering a piece of cardboard with the silk, and then you can see I've stitched the shank in there as well, and they were fine and they looked alright. I mean, they're not, obviously you can probably see from the shape that they've got a bit misshapen. They've got a bit misshapen over time, and of course inevitably a button has come off and I have no more of this silk, so I decided the best option would be to get some new buttons. How pretty do they look? And they're just the perfect little finishing touch just to give Mr BLC's waistcoat a nice update. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Please do give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. It really helps my channel out and tells YouTube to push it out to more people. Don't forget to subscribe so you can be notified when my next video goes out. It should be my vlog of our trip to Bath for the Jane Austen Festival, which is really exciting. So do subscribe so you're notified when that video goes out, because I'm really excited to share that video. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in that next video. Take care, guys. Bye!